Welcome everybody to another review. This is Marvelous Statues, the show where we get to unbox and review some of the coolest statues and collectibles known to man. And this week we are doing a special tribute to the X-Men villains. So we're going to have two villains that we're going to be reviewing this week. This is the first of them. And thanks to my buddy Julio, we are taking a look at XM Studios' White Magneto. So stay tuned. I am back. All right, so I've taken some pictures of it. I spent close to an hour or so assembling this thing. I have to say this is one of the most complicated assemblies I've ever done. XM Studios really outdoes itself with how many pieces you get to put together. I mean, if this was a Lego set, this would be like ages 22 and up. This is insane how many pieces you have to put together on this thing, and please follow the instructions explicitly. They actually do work very well. There were some of these rebars that you have to put in that is a little bit confusing because of the angles of the pictures, but they're numbered pretty well, and if you just follow it, like I said, you should be able to get everything together just fine. It does take a little bit of time to put it together though, and I do recommend some space. I had to spread my stuff all the way around all the place. Alright, so anyway, let's get to this. What you get with the statue. You get a hell of a amount of switch outs. You get the instructions on how to put this guy together. You absolutely need this. And you get a sick art print, probably. I haven't seen it yet. Oh yes, very sick art print. Wow, this is dope. Really dope. I don't like that they put the XM not for sale tag there. I mean, I feel like that kind of ruins the whole picture. You know, because if I'm gonna put this in the frame, why would they put that there? Not for sale. I'm not digging that. They should have put that on the back, I think. Next one, put it on the back. This is a beautiful art print. I think you feel like you ruined it with that stamp right there. Oh well. Really nice look though. I like the art print. So other than that, you get some swap out portraits. You have Magneto in the classic helmet style. Obviously white suit. And then you get a bald Professor X style Magneto. Looks real mean. Alright. You get a smirking after shadow with white hair Magneto, looking like a pimp. I like that. This one actually looks pretty good. All right, you get a swap out hand with him with the fist. This is right arm, goes right in there, pretty cool. And then you get a swap out left hand where he's wielding a bunch of metal into a ball, kind of like what they did with the left hand that I have posed here. And then you have the option to have him with the hand extended out, like he's trying to stop something. and then obviously another one holding the ball. You also get a missile that comes with this metal bar that's flexible. You can bend this into shape because you're gonna need to. It really wasn't lining up with the hand, so I had to bend it a little bit just to make sure that it fits correctly for the pictures. So you have that. And then there's a swap out piece here that's just a piece of metal that when you're not using the missile, you can cover up the hole, which I thought was a real nice idea. So very, very cool. The only issue that I see so far with it is that you can actually see a little bit of the seam between the torso and the lower half of his body. There, it's just the way that it fits. There's a pin that goes into this belt buckle, and that slides in and holds the two pieces together, so they're not falling off, but it's still, you can see the seam. So that's the only thing. So this version of Magneto is from the newer comics. It first appeared in X-Men 3 Volume 3, and the suit is supposed to signify Magneto changing his ways a little bit. He has joined the X-Men, a renegade band of X-Men that is being led by Scott Summers, and this suit, it signifies him repenting for all of the things that he did in the past, although while still trying to carry out his ultra motives. So he's kind of good, sort of, right? But that's the whole idea of the suit. Now there's a black version of the suit also that I think looks really sick, but now that I've seen this thing in person, I think XM Studios freaking nailed it. This suit looks awesome. Really, really cool. If you're a fan of Magneto, you should definitely get this. This is so dope. I don't even know where to begin with all of the craziness that this statue is. It's just amazing. So cool. All right. So let's, I guess, start with size. How can we fit this in our Bestas, right? That's important. So let's see. This Magneto is with, he's about 23, 24 inches in width from one end of the base all the way to where the cape is. The cape extends out a little bit. In terms of depth, you're gonna need about 16 to 17 inches in depth in order to make sure it doesn't stick out. And then height-wise, this guy is 29 inches tall. So he is pretty big. I would say that you would need a PAX to put this thing in comfortably. It may fit in a Besta, but it's gonna be tight. All right, definitely no detail for this guy. Although the way he is, I can't see myself putting this in a cubby hole like that. I would want to have him like on a top shelf. He just looks so fantastic. Unless you have like a really deep, awesome display case with like glass in front of it and everything to protect it, I would say put this on top of one of the Bestas. I think that would look really cool. You know, that's my opinion anyway. Curious to hear how you guys would display it. Let me know about that in the comments. And let's talk about this guy, right? So the base, where do we get with the base? This base is sick. So it's a bunch of metal and junk and all kinds of things that Magneto is just manipulating and whipping around, and it's adhering to the sphere, almost like the sphere that Magneto has, his magnetic field that he puts around himself. I know I've seen it in the cartoons, and you know, it looks like all of the metal is bending around that. I think that looks really cool, the way they designed that. Really neat. I love all of the colors they put into this base. They have all kinds of different stuff. I mean, you have rusted areas, you have some green areas, you know, kind of bronze, black, brown, grays. I mean, there is all kinds of stuff all over the place. And then when you look inside of the base, there are these little small metal pieces that are like stuck to the flooring. And it almost seems like, you know, the magnetic field is just sticking it into place, like it's not moving, you know. Another cool thing that it has is that these two metal rebars are being bent into the shape of an X, which is cool because, you know, the X-Men. And I think that was a really nice touch. I love how this is kind of like almost circular bending right here. So it almost seems like this, it would make like one formation of the X logo. So I think that's a really cool touch that they put into that. He's attached by a pin that goes into this X formation here, right in the back in the center, and that's part of the upper torso and the cape. That's all one piece, so there's no seams there, right? And it's hidden so well that it makes Magneto look like he's just floating, and I think that is such a cool idea. The suit itself has a variety of whites in it. The colors look really good. I love how the black has a gloss to it, so it has a nice contrast. And I also like how they have these little areas where they have some texture there and a little darker gray, so it separates itself from the whites. The skin tone, excellent. They did a great job on that. It has nice veins. The color in the veins look really good. So I love the way that is. There is something that to note when you take and put the arms into the body, because these things are separate, obviously. It is really difficult to get in there without touching the shoulder pads. So you do get a little bit of scuffing on the skin in the back, and that's going to happen. So even as much as gentle as I was trying to get it out, there was just no way to get to do anything about that. That's just something as it is. But it's hidden, so you're never going to see that when you're actually displaying it. So that's cool. I like the idea that they had to give you two options of having either hand with this forming metal ball that he's creating with all of the junk there. So it looks like he's about to hurl this thing at somebody. Really, really neat idea that they did that, because it gives you the option to have one or the other. And I even took a picture of him having both, and it still looked kind of cool with the two together. Now, something that I thought was really, really neat that they did was they included this missile, right? So the missile it connects right over here. There's this plate, right? And the plate has a pin in it, and that hides the hole where this goes into. And then this just pops right into place there. And there you go. And you got the missile coming right at him, and it looks like he's just stopping it in place. And then what's also really neat is if you look at the fins on the missile itself, they're all kind of warping and bending. Like, you know, Magneto has taken and really got a hold of this thing. So I think that is so damn cool. I mean, that is a really neat idea. I think they did great. The only thing I would have done here is maybe would have replaced this with like a clear plastic, possibly, you know, just so that it's hidden a little better. It's because with this metal, you can see it, you know, and there's really no way to make this look, you know, like it's floating without having something hold it. So there's just no way to do that. But I think making this clear would have been a way of hiding it a little better. So then you have these portraits with some super strong magnets that hold it into place. They did a great job with the magnets. I think that's cool. I always like the way they fit. I really like the helmeted portrait. The way the screaming face looks, the teeth look realistic. I love how it's very wet inside of the mouth, and then the eyes are all whited out and angry. It looks really, really, really cool. The only thing more that I would have done on this to just push it to that next level is would have made the eyes light up. They did that, woo! That thing would have been insane. But then you have the option to have him without the helmet on. He's got a smirking face here. I like the after shadow effect that they have going on. Really good texture in the pores. I like how you can see the wrinkles in his brow. You know, he's a little older, so I think that's kind of cool. So really nice work with that. And the hair looks really good. Very dynamic. I like all the strains and fine little hairs they have sculpted in there. So then the other option is to have the bald portrait here, which I'm calling the Professor X look. You know, looks very angry. I dig it too. I'm not the way that I would display him if I had him, but you know, it's nice. It's not bad. You know, they like the way they did the bald look on the top. It looks like he's got more of a shaved head, and I think that looks really cool. So nice work there too. I think all the portraits look awesome. I can't figure out which one looks the best. Actually, I can. I like this one the best. But I'm curious to hear how you guys would display him. Would you display him with the helmet or without the helmet? Me personally, you got to put him with the helmet because he just looks too mean with it. And this is just, like I keep saying it, it's a fantastic, awesome piece. This is so good. I mean, this is a really, really, really good piece. I am sorry that I missed the boat on this one. This is fantastic. Woo! All right, so that's about it for me with this White Magneto. I'm curious to hear what you guys think about this. Is this the Magneto that you guys have been waiting for? Or do you still want to get the Magneto on Throne? Curious to hear about that. Let me know in the comments. And until next time, guys, keep it marvelous.